If you quit today, you'll never know the wins that's set up for you tomorrow. Too many people have so many bright ideas, are so great at what they do, they're a genius in their field. However, that momentum that they had, that motivation that they had in the very beginning, burn out and they lose the course. This video is about staying the course. I'm Lori. I'm very transparent and I like to talk about personal finance. I talk about leveling up. I talk about success. I talk about money. I stay the course. And I know that's easier said than done, and I'm not here to be cliche, but I want to give you a few public figures that you may have heard their name very recently, okay, in the past like 5 years. Check out Mr. Tenderism. If you don't know who Mr. Tenderism is, you have been living under a rock. Mr. Tenderism is a elderly senior citizen, okay? He's an older gentleman, and he has just blew up in the past 2-3 years, I believe, have went very viral across many platforms for being a great chef, a great cook, okay? He does things like pit house ribs and chicken and different things like that, right? The thing is that, look at that. If Mr. Tenderism was not perfecting his craft, not studying his craft, not becoming better and better every single time, if he was not just authentically showing up and giving it his all, he would have never known the sensation that he is today. If he would have been very mediocre, sat back in a corner and just made things according to the recipes and did not have his own spin on things, we would never know who Mr. Tenderism is, okay? Booyah! You know, love seeing Mr. Tenderism because he is a real example of when you study your craft and you work and you put forth the efforts of the things that you want, there is no limit on what can happen for you. And it can happen at any point, at any age. He's not 20, he's not in his 30s, he's not in his 40s. He's not a young buck, okay? He is an older gentleman. And look how he is just all over. Like, you cannot be on any platform and not see Mr. Tenderism. So that is just a prime example of staying the course. Don't throw in the towel because you don't know when your time is going to come. And I know a lot of times we like to put deadlines and have goals that need to be done by a certain date. Let me tell you, I remember all throughout my 20s having certain goals. I am now in my 30s. And at least 2 of those goals that I've been writing down since I've been 21, 22, 23, 24, the list goes on. 2 of those goals I still have on my goal list today because they are huge, right? They're big dreams. They're big goals. So the thing is, though, don't cheat yourself by putting a date. When you don't reach that goal or you don't reach that mark, that target by that date, now you want to throw in the towel. Now you feel like it was all for nothing. Your hard work and your efforts and you perfecting your craft will always have a great payout. Now, you don't know when that payout is going to happen, but that's not for you to know, okay? Now, if you believe in God like I believe in God, or whatever higher power you believe in, there's a reason why you had that desire. There's a reason why you had that dream. There's a reason why you had that vision. The only thing that you need to be responsible for doing, once that you have the vision, once you have the desire and it's clear, you know exactly what you want, how you want it, don't worry about the win. Don't concern yourself with the win. Let God take care of your win, okay? Because the thing about it is that when you're going through the process and when you're perfecting your craft, when you're studying to show thyself approved, when you're being a mastery of yourself, a mastery in your craft, a mastery in your industry, whatever the case may be, there's so many different things that you learn. It's not about just, oh, okay, I set the goal and now boom, I hit the goal. All that bridge in between, that's vital and it's important because one thing about it, you don't want to reach somewhere too soon and crash out, right? You don't want to reach somewhere too soon and not be prepared. It's building you. It's strengthening you. It's shaping you. It's shifting your mindset. It's shifting your perspective. So don't grow weary and don't throw in the towel. Just know what you know, keep your faith, and stay strong in what you know you have to do. I recently heard this quote, and I'm adding this to my toolbox. Quote said, if it comes fast, it doesn't last. And that's real. I think about a few different things that came fast for me. Whether that was a money, whether that was a certain friendship, a relationship, whatever the case may be, right? When things just take off fast, you know? Things are not with me today. They did not last. Most times when things come really fast at you, right? Special relationships, a lot of times it could be love bombing, and a lot of times they don't always end on good terms. So you have to know how to like know what you want and have the desires for what you want, but also be at ease, be calm. That's something that I'm really practicing in this season. That's something I'm very intentional about in this season, to be at ease. Yeah, I can have my desires, I can have my goals, but I'm at ease. It's on God's timing. I just know I need to show up day in and day out and do what I need to do to get it done. But far as when things take place or when my harvest season is coming, that's not for me to know. I'll give you a few other public figures that you may be familiar with. Let's look at Toby and Fat. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Toby and Fat, but they are a band. Toby said he gave himself 10 years. He said he was going to put out a music video every week for the next 10 years. And if it don't happen in 10 years, then cool. He tried. It was his commitment. Even though he put a time frame on it, it was his commitment. His commitment was, I don't care about the views. I don't care about if I'm getting paid. I don't care about when it's going to take place. I don't know when it's going to take place within these 10 years, but I'm going to commit to 10. Because he decided to commit and he decided to show up week after week after week. It didn't take nowhere near 10 years. So I say all this to say is that it's about the commitment. It's about your process. It's about that bridge. All that in between, from point A to point B. All that in between, this is where it counts. This is where you need to show up day in and day out. This is where you cannot afford to doubt yourself. This is when you cannot afford to be looking at somebody else's paper and look at somebody else's plate and what they have and what they're doing. This is not the time for distractions. This is the time to stay in your momentum and to stay focused and to not be distracted by any shiny toys. For example, if you're working on your fitness, you're working on your physique, right? You said you want to do it the natural way. You said, oh, okay, I'm going to work out XYZ amount of times. I want to work on my nutrition, my dietary things. I want to eat clean. I'm going to drink just nothing but water. I'm not drinking any alcohol, no matter if it's a social event or not, right? This is what you said you want to do naturally. The next thing you know, you go to your doctor's appointment and now all of a sudden now your doctor's offering you a certain shot or a certain pill to help you lose that weight faster. What are you going to do? What do you do in those times? Are you going to stick to what you committed to doing and how you committed to doing it? Or are you going to be distracted by the shiny toy? And then in this case, when it comes to fitness, if you get that shot or if you get that pill, you don't know what the side effects, you don't know how those side effects are going to affect you. You know, stay the course. You don't know when it's your time. You don't know when it's your season. Enjoy the building phase. Enjoy this process. Enjoy all the personal development that will be taking place. Because there's levels. There's levels to everything. Once you reach the point B that you're trying to reach, it's going to be another level. Okay? There's levels. There's levels to everything. Levels to mindset. It's levels to money. It's levels to your spiritual growth. It's levels. It's levels to relationships. It's levels to friendships. It's levels to everything. It's levels in the workspace. It's levels in business. It is levels, okay? And you don't have to reach every level. It's just about what is suitable, what's comfortable for you, and what's your goals and your heart desires. So stay focused. Don't be distracted. Your time is today. It could be tomorrow. You don't know when it's going to happen. Because you continue to show up, because that's where the real grit, that's where the real growth, and that's where the real discipline, that's where the real success is.